I am back. Rodrance for our Black and White Network. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment. Oh, we got a couple of different topics today. One, we've got this Ron DeSantis being stormed on stage by some left-wing radicals. One of the things John and I talked about yesterday on the member stream was we both still like DeSantis. We do. We think his place is 2028. And we also think a lot of the back and forth between him and Trump is basic political posturing. We've seen this before. We've seen Trump and Ted Cruz launch battles back and forth to each other. And Trump and Ted Cruz are still tight, okay? I think Trump's going to be the nominee in 2024, and he's going to get my vote. But I think there's still a place, obviously, in Florida for America's governor. Those people down there still loved Ron DeSantis. I think he's done a lot of good work down there. So I always want to try to be fair here. And so he was on stage giving a speech, and some left-wing radicals stormed the stage, and we'll check that clip out. And we also got something unexpected. We've got the attempted cancellation of Tommy Lee. You might be like, Tommy Lee? Yeah, the drummer from Motley Crue. That Tommy Lee. Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. We all know about that, right? That video, ruh-roh. Well, he posted an OAN clip. And he was talking about, it was just talking about the wildness of people identifying as freaking babies and animals and how everybody's lost their freaking minds. Well, he's not wrong there. But he posted a clip, then he deleted it because, my God, the woke mob went straight on the attack against Tommy Lee. So we're going to look at his response to that. He did delete the tweet. I wish he hadn't, or his post, but it's a shame that if it feels like in this country, people cannot have their own opinions anymore, right? And I'm sure he probably got a call from whoever his agent is and was like, do you ever want to work again? If you do, you might want to take that down. It's too late. Sorry, Tommy Lee. Sorry, not sorry, but the left-wing radicals, you're not going to be able to work again, probably. To be honest with you, wouldn't you think Motley Crue's target audience is probably kind of supportive of what Tommy Lee's got to say? I think, personally, they were probably pretty supportive of it, but we'll get to that. Let's look at this. DeSantis cracks a joke as far-left activists storm stage at a New Hampshire event. This shouldn't surprise anybody, but here we are. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis cracked a joke after two far-left activists stormed the stage as he spoke to a sold-out event in New Hampshire on Friday evening, where he smashed the all-time fundraising record for the state's Republican Party. The protesters were part of a far-left anti-Israel group. If not now, the group claimed on social media, quote, Jews against DeSantis. Jews against DeSantis, the two women yelled as security guards got control of the situation and escorted them off the stage. DeSantis remained calm, cool, and collected during the incident, quipping, quote, you got to have a little spice in the speech, right? Question mark. Let's just watch it right here. Here's the clip.
If you looked at governor races, president races, 2010, 12, 14, 16, 18, yeah, thank you.
Jews against DeSantis! Jews against DeSantis!
Y'all crazy as hell.
You got to have a little spice in the speech, right? I mean, you got to have a little fun. Why you'd want to pay the ticket to get in just to do that, I don't know, but different strokes for different folks.
Who in the world are they showing up to impress? That's what I want to know. You came to a Ron DeSantis speech speaking to a pro-Ron DeSantis crowd. Do you think anybody there gives a tinker's F what you're up there saying? Do you believe anybody gives a damn about who you're trying to virtue signal to? That is ridiculous. Oh, we're going to get up and we're going to be brave, stunning, and courageous to whom exactly? I mean, stop it. Crazy. The NHGOP chairman, Chris Ager, told NH Journal Friday morning that the event was, quote, record-breaking fundraiser for the state party. It was the largest fundraiser in the history of NHGOP, raising more than $250,000. Ticket sales were halted earlier this week after we exceeded the planned capacity. Florida's Voice reported that Ager announced at the event that $382,000 had been raised. The news came after a left-wing publication claimed that DeSantis was struggling to sell tickets. Oh, okay, I bet. And that there was not much interest in his trip to the state. You got to be more careful. I could have told you that was a lie. NH Journal reported, according to sources in both New Hampshire and elsewhere, those stories were coming from allies of the Trump campaign. I don't believe that let me understand this. News came after a left-wing publication, and then they tried to blame Trump for it. I don't buy that. Who's been working the press hard with stories of DeSantis' alleged shortcomings on the campaign trail. Iger told the publication that the original goal was to sell 500 tickets, and the New Hampshire Republican Party quickly exceeded that number in sales. Unlike some previous events where tickets were made available to some activist groups for free, these are $150 tickets, a financial boon for the historically cash-strapped state party's organization, the report said. The 100 VIP tickets at $500 a pop are a sellout as well. I mean, up in that state, I think that's a pretty left-wing state, New Hampshire. So I would say Ron DeSantis did just fine there. It's crazy. I mean, these people are nuts. Who in the hell do you think you're playing to at a pro-Ron DeSantis crowd? It's absolutely insane. Nobody gives a damn what you got to say. God, unbelievable. The real problem with this is eventually I feel like one of these scenarios like we just saw with Ron DeSantis and people running on stage, whether it's Trump, whether it's DeSantis, or any other conservative Republican, we saw with, was it Lee Zeldin in New York. That guy came up on stage and tried to stab him. Think about that. At some point, this is going to get dangerous, and I'm going to tell you why. There's precedent for this kind of thing as far as protesting obviously crossing the line for the last 3 years, right? We saw protests get way out of hand, and left-wing politicians turn their heads, turn their backs to all the destruction. The media turn their heads, turn their backs to it. And in fact, I think the Lee Zeldin thing, it got almost no play on mainstream media outlets at all. Truly, I think literally Newsmax, OAN, and Fox News were the only ones that actually covered the incident. To a lot of people, it never even happened. How many New York voters didn't even know it happened? I mean, that's crazy. I didn't even know that protesters stormed the stage at the DeSantis rally if I hadn't have pulled up this article. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And when you've set the precedent of no punishments, no repercussions for your actions, well, eventually, one of these kind of things is going to go bad. I mean, you give Ron DeSantis credit. He didn't freak out over it, right? He didn't lose his head over it. He cracked a joke. But, yeah, one of these things could go bad because there's been a precedent in left-wing areas of nothing to see here. Please move along. No big deal. It's a dangerous precedent to have set. So, let's get to Tommy Lee. This is, of course, Motley Crue's drummer. I'm not the biggest Motley Crue guy, I'm going to be honest, and I am a metal guy, but I'm more Metallica, Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, Kid Rock's older stuff, back when he was a rocker. And I have listened to some of his country stuff, but I'm definitely more of a metalhead. Korn, Zombie. I like some Motley Crue, but it was a little too hair banish for me. A little bit too much makeup back in the day when Megadeth and Metallica was the thing, was my jams. Slayer would be another one, probably. So let's get to this Outkick, because the mob, the Alphabet Mob, is that the most powerful mob now? I mean, a lot of people are sort of seeing through Black Lives Matter, and sort of because of some of their financial dealings. So has that sort of moved over to the because we've seen Alphabet Mob will cancel anybody. They don't give a damn. They tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's black, man. They didn't give a F about him at record speed. Boom. Tried to trapdoor his ass. To Dave Chappelle's credit, and maybe Tommy Lee should have handled this the way Dave Chappelle was like, kiss my ass. And I think that's exactly how you have to handle these situations. It made Dave Chappelle more popular and more powerful instantaneously, which is amazing for the GOAT, but you get the point. Joe Rogan, too. They tried to cancel him, and Joe Rogan was like, kiss my ass. And essentially, he gained about 2 million subscribers on his pod. This is Outkick. The internet mob came for Tommy Lee Friday after he posted an OAN clip featuring Liz Wheeler. The legendary rock star and former husband of Pamela Anderson shared a video of Wheeler talking about humans not just identifying as the opposite sex, but as different races. What? Are we talking about Talcum X here? Just wondering. Is Talcum X the white guy that claims to be a black dude? I think we've all seen him. This is nuts. Not just identifying as opposite sex, but as different races, children, animals, and wondering where it ends. That's so damn stupid. The clip is extremely vanilla, but because we live in very dumb times, people had to be outraged. Questlove commented that he was unfollowing Lee over the video, according to TMZ. Don't let the door hit you in the ass, Questlove, you woke MFer. Many other people commented on the post with outrage. You can watch the clip below and decide for yourself. Let's just check a little of it out here.
Transgender, transracial, we got transabled. Yeah, this one's really messed up. Physically healthy people who feel they should have been born disabled. A man in Great Britain cut off his arm because he felt like an amputee. A woman in North Carolina poured drain cleaner in her eyes because she felt blind. Transgender, transracial, transabled. Guess what's next? A grown man posting an ad on Craigslist wanting a nanny because he identifies as a baby.
People are crazier than hell. The legendary musician deleted the clip, issued a statement shortly after midnight Eastern. Despite the fact there was nothing wrong with the clip, he still walked it back. Quote, I deleted my controversial, in parentheses, crying, laughing emoji post because I am in no way transphobic or against the LGBTQIA plus community or any effing community. Shit, I'm the gayest mother effer around. I just don't agree with how far some things have been taken. I just think it's crazy that some people are blinding themselves because they feel they should have been born blind. That is... Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing till just now. And that's nuts. I mean, look, this goes back to what me and John was talking about during our live streams during the week, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Check it out. This goes back to what we were saying. We got a real mental health issue in this. Look, there's no other way to look at it. You're crazier than a shithouse rat if you believe you should have been born blind, so you pour bleach in your eyes. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know at what point we can get back around to asylums opening back up, but the inmates are clearly trying to run the asylum and do it outside. Are you trying to tell me somebody that thinks that way is not somewhat dangerous in some way to society? Because I can't buy that. I won't buy that. I get being born female and identifying as a male, or being born and make and identifying as female or whatever. See, even Tommy Lee's kind of nutty as hell, right? Because, yeah, there's something wrong with that too. But when people start identifying as babies or animals, what the F? I posted that because it got me thinking, and you should too, about where this world and our world, Earth emoji, is going. Lee wrote to his 1.8 million followers. Are we really at a point in America where posting a clip of this nature leads to people being outraged? You might like One America News, or you might not. That's irrelevant. The clip Tommy Lee shared of Liz Wheeler wasn't over the line at all. It was simply asking, how much further does the insanity go? If you can identify as a different race or even an animal, is there any end at all? Or does the insanity just continue on a loop indefinitely? That seems to be what Tommy Lee was asking, and there's nothing unreasonable about it. Instead, engaging in a passionate, fun discussion, the people just flipped out. It's not much different than what we've seen surrounding Riley Gaines, and goes on to talk about the woke mob coming after her when she was speaking out for women's rights, for crying out loud. That's the craziest thing. The damn feminists are now flipping over to Trump. They have some on regularly on Fox News that they came after the kids, remember? So the feminist was like, oh no, you're not touching my kids. I'm voting for Trump, and I'm voting Republican now because you've taken shit too far. That's what's happened. Look, when you try to cancel somebody because he's saying wake up, people that are blinding themselves is not normal. I mean, guys waking up, you know what? Today I identify as a chicken. I think I'm going to bop and flap my wings and eat damn grain off the ground. You're crazier than hell. You're nuts. I mean, let's be real. Again, mental health, it's a thing. They should check into it. And part of the problem is a society has just accepted this behavior. Tommy Lee tries to point this out, which is completely lucid. What's not completely lucid, Tommy Lee? Being okay with the man identifying as a female and the female identifying as a man. That's not okay either, Tommy Lee, and you're kind of a cur for backing off of that. Because there's no way in hell you don't think that's crazier than hell. And have some backbone, keep your post up. Regardless of probably an agent or whoever called you. Stop it. Just leave it up. Let them go nuts. Who gives a damn? Come back, double down on it. Post up there. You know what? All y'all can kiss my ass. No. Let me delete it. Let me run for the hills and then issue a statement that, I mean, yeah, it should be the obvious these days. Humans identifying as animals, that's not normal. Identifying as babies, nah, you're a grown-ass man. Get the hell up. Now, better yet, check yourself in somewhere. You need help. God. Man, at some point, are any of these celebrities going to get a backbone? A backbone. I mean, all these years you portrayed yourself as this rough and tumble heavy metal guy. All right. Did Pamela Anderson remove your pair? Just wondering. He was right to begin with. He shouldn't have backed off this, and that has irritated me. Right. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. They come for DeSantis, and they came for Tommy Lee. DeSantis did not bend the knee. Tommy Lee got down on both knees. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.